Application 24-210Z, PDD number 8, modification detail plan, 775 Main Street South, Southbury, Connecticut. Green Skies Clean Focus applicant. Seeking approval to new rooftop PV system being installed on the existing commercial building. Okay, can, typically, this requires public hearing, right?
Public hearing, correct.
Okay. Do you want to make any statement now? But you don't have to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nothing, yeah, I mean, it's rooftop solar, so it's just gonna depend on what you all wanna see or be inclined to be informed about.
Okay, well, you'll have your say next month at the public hearing, you have to make a presentation, and have you reviewed the application, Jordan?
Came in yesterday?
Oh.
The payment came in yesterday.
Payment came in yesterday, yeah, so we're just kind of getting eyes on this for the first
Okay,
time.
all right. Now, this is gonna be, well, just discussion here. We have, we've always had issues with rooftop HVAC units
Mhm.
being seen from 84. I don't know how this falls into play, but,
So just as a kind of a precedent that we have, Chatfield just recently went through the planning commission for a similar idea. The rooftop utilities regulation was called out, and it was kind of their opinion that it didn't really align with what solar is, and more aligned with clear rooftop utilities for HVAC. So if we're drilling down on the same idea, but it's the zoning commission's PDD at this point, so we'll see how you guys want to move that one forward. The one thing I would recommend is getting street view schematics, so you guys have a clear idea of what the solar is going to look like upon installation, how much of it's going to be visible from Main Street South, and if you feel that it's necessary, as well as the highway.
well,
So I can just chime in there a little bit, so.
Guy,
Oh,
please come up, name and address.
What's that?
Name and address, or who you're representing?
Oh, yep, Ken Wilhelm from Green Skies, construction manager.
Okay,
So the parapets on that building are actually 11 feet high, and they go entirely around the building. The highest that the solar will be off the rooftop is a foot. So this thing is pretty much
Okay,
right
well-
down on top of that. There'll be some equipment, and that's all located exterior in the rear of the building. So you're not gonna see anything from any sides of the building that you can.
is there any way, I mean, again, you'll have to present all this next month, but is there any way you have any rendering or any kind of drawing that that would show? The reason why those parapets are 11 feet are for mechanicals.
Gotcha, yep.
We specifically did not want to see any mechanicals from Main Street or from I-84. That was
Yep.
always an issue. I mean, if you can
Understood.
show that you can't see any, and are they flat?
Yeah, well, again, they're on a 5-degree pitch, so it's about 7 inches in the front, 5 degrees on the module, it goes up to probably 11
Right.
inches in the back.
Well, if there's some sort of rendering, drawing, or something that shows that they will not be visible from anywhere, and I drove down, when I saw the package, I actually drove down 84, and if it's as high as you say it is off the rooftop, and then it's only a 5-degree pitch, you're probably not gonna see it. So, I mean, you're probably good to go, but make a presentation that make sure the general public understands that, and
Okay.
we shouldn't have a problem. It's PV, I mean.
Yeah, and there's no equipment that's gonna stand up on that roof either. Again, everything's located out back. So I don't see anything that you're gonna be visible for. I don't know how high 84 is from the building, but, so, just so I understand, so we do have to come to next month's
Yes.
meeting?
It requires a public hearing because we're changing the actual PDD regulation.
Okay, understood. I thought that tonight was gonna be the approval, but apparently not. Okay, yeah, so anything, I guess, Kristen, did one of the notes say that we didn't have to show up with anything? Because it was submitted?
Yes, and that we weren't even really required to be here. We decided to come anyway. The architectural plans
So I just want to make sure that I show up with whatever we need
Yeah.
for the next meeting, but you're saying,
Yeah, I mean, right now, the biggest proof is gonna be, can you see it from anywhere? And I-84 is gonna be the key
Yep.
location. Main Street, you will not see it.
not at all.
I-84, again, like I said, I drove down 84, I think it was
Yeah.
yesterday.
I printed out
and
just the
I-
front of the building too, and it's,
That will pretty much show, but.
Yeah.
You could see the top of the parapet opposite 84. I mean, the far side from 84, so
gotcha.
you're not gonna see anything on the roof.
No,
Plus, if there's mechanicals up there now, we don't see them, so if they're lower than the mechanicals, you're not gonna see it.
yeah,
But-
understood.
Pardon? They are? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I mean, this is the layout of it. I don't know if you all want to see anything, or you just want to wait
You
till
have plans, right?
next week.
They were submitted?
Yeah, again, we were told that we didn't have to bring anything, but I just figured I'd print out the basics.
True for today, you did.
Yeah,
You're just accepting the application, setting the public hearing.
gotcha.
So you're here to talk.
Yep,
Okay, all right.
okay.
Next month, be prepared. I don't think you'll get much any opposition, to tell you the truth.
Somehow it was feeding back.
What?
Somehow it was feeding back, so I turned it on.
Yeah, if they feedback, turn them off, just remember to turn them on when you speak.
You know, that's awfully
Okay.
tricky.
Next month.
Anything else?
Sorry about that.
Nope, that's no problem. Yep,
Thank you.
glad we got this cleared up. All right, thank you.
All right, application number 24243Z, PDD number 18, text amendment and modification detailed plans, 100 Main Street North, South Haven Associates LLC, Southbury. Seeking approval to add 2 panels to the existing pylon sign that will not change the existing condition. Additionally, looking to move the location of 2 signs on the west side of the building to be more in line with the approved center sign located in height. Site plan provided with this application. Again, this is a text amendment change, text change to the PDD. Jordan?
This one is, yeah.
All right, so this also has to go to public hearing.
Fully aware, yeah.
Well, you've been here, you know the game. You want to say anything? Not that you have to, but, okay, all right, so, I guess it's pretty straightforward what they want to do, and we'll wait till next month to hear the real presentation.
Is there
and,
any questions that we can maybe answer
I
now?
I don't
Is
think
this
so.
something we can address?
I mean, I saw what you were doing with the submittal, and seems reasonable to me. So,
Okay.
but then again, I can't speak for the entire commission, have to wait till next month.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Appreciate your time.
All right, next is discussion on request for proposal for the comprehensive zone regulation update. The RFP has been sent to everybody. Anybody, I mean, it's been around for a while. Hasn't changed since you first published it, has it?
No, I think it's been 2 or 3 months since we've met.
been a
We haven't
couple
really had
months.
any applications, so.
Does anybody have any questions on it? Or any questions of Jordan of what the real purpose is of it?
Did we get partway through this with SLR and then we stopped?
No, that was different.
That was
And that wasn't SLR, that was,
Different contractor. Some of the writing in this proposal is to kind of address some of the issues we ran into with that particular vendor. The job was never finished,
Right, I thought we got,
and this,
kind of just stopped.
and that one was for a regulation update. This is a rewrite. So this is a comprehensive look at all the regulations, anything we want to touch on, anything we want to bring in a more user-friendly manner to the public. The regulations are pretty old, it's been a while. The POCD is finished, so now, in my opinion, it's a good time. Frankly, it's the commission's role to kind of kick this off. I kind of put this in front of you, so if this commission feels that this is a worthwhile task, we have the budgeting in place, we have the backing of the
You have
first
the budget?
selectman. I'm sorry?
you have a budget for this?
Yes.
How much do we have?
The projects will probably be upwards of $70,000, $60,000, $70,000.
Okay,
So we're looking at covering the budget with what we have set aside for such a proposal. But we're also taking from the regulation update that wasn't done, so we're kind of combining it all so we can get a comprehensive look at all this. I think it's a worthwhile project. It's going to take a lot of time. You know, while we have a strong commission, I think it's the best time to kind of kick this off and get the project started, but it's really up to you guys to see.
Were there any areas that you thought you needed more eyes on it?
As it relates to the regulations or the proposal?
The regulations.
Yeah, the regulations are pretty old. They were piecemealed together through updates, so having a comprehensive look, having it coincide with a lot of the state statutes that have been passed to make sure we're in alignment with those. I would say there's a couple of sections that really aren't user-friendly. I hit a lot of friction with the public when it comes to understanding some of the sections of the regulations, as well as, you know, elaborating it to the layman. So I think this is a worthwhile project. Windsor just, you know, won an award for having, you know, the most, I think it was like transparent or well-understood regulations. So I'm really looking to have something that covers a lot of bases, but also puts us on a really strong footing moving forward, touching on things like, you know, whether it's trailers, bolstering up ADUs, if there's anything we want to touch on to increase things that would help affordable housing, increasing the opportunity for middle housing, short-term rentals, if you guys felt that that was a need, but really getting it into our regulations so they're set moving forward.
Yeah, I find the regulations missing items, issues, sometimes confusing in the way it's written. Because I've been through a lot of regulations through my own business, but I think it's always been a tough document to go through, I find.
Yeah, some areas are great.
And to update it, especially with the newer stuff going on right now, and really, it should be a comprehensive redo. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. It's gonna take time. Public hearing is gonna be interesting, yes. So, I endorse the RFP, and hopefully we get some good candidates. I'm looking forward to probably a larger firm than what we had. We had a one-person. I mean, not to take anything away from him, but I think we want a firm that's more comprehensive in its ability to really review and understand what we're looking for. Do you know who did the Windsor documents?
I do not.
You do not?
I do not.
Not that we have to.
No, copy them, and unfortunately, the Windsor documents, every time I try and get online, there's a error code that comes up for their online regulation, so I personally haven't had a chance to look at them. I was looking at a land use attorney's review of them. Yeah, I think this could really kick it off. What I would like at this juncture, if everyone felt that it was a worthwhile project and we really don't want to kick the can any further, is determining kind of, if this RFP is set, what dates we want to send it out, how long we want it floating around before we get bids back, date for bid openings, things like that, as well as whether or not we want to include the map update. If you look at page 1, it's a highlighted aspect of the zoning regulation rewrite, but do we want to also look at the zoning map for inconsistencies? There's a couple old areas that, you know, zone boundaries don't necessarily align with property boundaries, and there can be some confusion with that, whether or not that's by design, like in the Southford area, or it's just kind of by...
No, that wasn't by design. I mean, that was just using the available mapping that we had at the time. Now with GIS and the actual assessor's property lines on the map, we can define the zones more precisely.
Perfect.
So I think we should also include the map.
Include that, great.
Yeah. As far as when would you be able to go out to bid, advertise?
So talking with the selectman's office, we would essentially put the public bid opening and set a due date for that. GOSHA would post it, Noreen would issue legal notices, post it in the newspaper upon approval, and then, once we got bids back, we would set a date for the public opening of the bids to go through, and we would want to determine who was in the room for the public bid opening, and then we would kind of vet those individuals and take the project on from there, and that's when it would really kick off. This is my first one of these. I'm getting a lot of assistance from the First Selectman's office, so as far as the procedure moving forward, it's been kind of laid out to me, so I'm fairly understanding of what's entailed, but there will definitely be some coordination with that office to make sure it's done right.
All right, once it's published, I'd give them at least 30 days
30 days.
to get it in. I mean, that's a standard practice in the consulting industry. 30 days to get your bid in, proposal bid in. Right. I mean, you gotta put qualifications, it's a whole package you have to put together, including price. 30 days, yeah. No, 30 days. Yeah. And as far as, I didn't notice, I didn't read it word for word, but the language is, it's not solely price, right? It's not solely price. The bid. The qualifications. I know you have a cost price in there, a bid price, but the selection is not based solely on price.
So there's a weighting system, and that's also one of the things I'd like to drill down on, is kind of how you guys wanna, or how this commission would like to weigh the actual candidates as they come in. We can either do page 8, under selection criteria number 2, and page 7, selection criteria number 1. That kind of lays it out for you. We can either do a points-based system to determine the quality of the candidate, or
Yeah, because I want qualifications to be there,
yeah,
not just price.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because frankly, the update, I think we went with the lower bid option and didn't really get the project done the way we wanted. There's some qualifications in here that require that they submit previous works with different towns, and if there was any reason that a town didn't complete a project, they have to display that to us. So hopefully if we get another candidate that has had history like we went through with the regulation update, we'll be made privy to that right at the offset.
All right,
So a points-based system.
any questions or anybody else? So get it out as soon as you can,
Got it.
30 days, receive. We'll have the bid opening, we can read the numbers, but it wouldn't be the first time I recommended the second low bidder,
Yeah, that's totally okay.
so.
Because there'll be a lot of other criteria built into it,
Yeah.
so. We'll probably see a lot of the regular players that we're used to coming in and proposing.
Thanks, Jordan.
All right, any correspondence?
Yeah, it's just the one regarding the conversation Gary and I had about Southbury Self-Storage. This was for the placement of a performance bond so that they can move forward with getting their temporary certificate of zoning compliance while bonding the remaining landscaping to be done on the site. We landed on a price of $12,600 for a number of the remaining trees to be planted on site. So upon completion of the other aspects of the site that recently been approved, the new garage storage area, I believe it's to the east of the property. Once that's completed, then they'll start working on the final site improvements, at which time, when everything lines up with the approved plan, we can release the bond at your approval. And then short-term rentals, if we want to talk about those.
Do we want to, when you want to release the bond? Is it ready,
I'm sorry?
is it ready to be released?
The bond?
Yeah?
No,
No,
the
they're
memo
not
was
even
just
done.
a request to
Okay, all right.
take in that bond, yeah.
All right, well, we'll get to that point.
So that's all set.
That's fine. Did they get flooded out?
Yeah, I haven't checked in on them. I haven't heard, yeah, but I would imagine if the library
library
got
did,
hit as hard as it did,
Imagine they did it. They must
yeah.
have.
They just have some silt in the driveway, didn't it?
I'd be curious how the retention pond held. But I'm hitting a lot of stuff in town, so unfortunately, some of the things I don't have the time, but that'll definitely be one I have to check in on eventually.
All right, zoning enforcement officers report.
Nothing to
you
report
it?
as of right now, yeah.
You're it for how long?
So November, end of November, I believe her maternity is up.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get her back and then we can kind of move on from there.
Now, let me ask a stupid question. Did she have the baby?
She did,
Okay.
yeah,
And?
healthy, happy,
Good.
everything's looking good.
Good.
Yep,
Baby girl.
baby girl.
Okay, that's all right. All right, last meeting minutes from May? Is that the last time we had a meeting? Or June? It was May.
Yeah.
Wow. Any problems, any issues? Anybody read through it? They look really good? Were you here for May? You were, okay, all right. Do I hear a motion to approve it then? There a second?
I would move to approve
Further
those May
discussion?
minutes.
All those in favor? All right, it's approved. Any bills or receipts or anything? We don't spend any money here.
No, there is, but I didn't get around, doing the report, so I'll get it for next month's meeting.
Okay. It's not 8 o'clock yet. Do you want to wait till 8 o'clock? All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn? All those in favor?